the company you used to work for,
Yes.
the company that has employed me a handful of times,
Right.
is very influential.
Uh-huh.
There are a lot of people who make their living off that company.
Sure.
Why are you worth rocking the boat over?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and you know what? That makes total sense. It does. It does, but I mean, that's the reason why I think the porn monopoly needs to be broken up completely. You know, and I've been very outspoken about all of it because, you know, look, everything that came out about that company came out after I had left.
Well, the question is, why didn't you think it needed to be broken up when you were working for them?
I didn't. It's not like I didn't think that, but
why didn't you say something about it?
Well, because what can I do about them controlling everything in the industry?
I mean, what can you do now?
Well, now it's all happening anyways because of everything that was going on with Pornhub and what they were monetizing of.
If it was such a moral crusade for you, why take their money?
Well, no, but it wasn't like that before. They were just arrogant and greedy, you know?
No, you were there at a time when they were stealing people's fucking content.
It's copyright. That's copyright infringement, okay?
Yeah, it's still people's livelihood.
Sure. And
you didn't voice anything then?
At that point, no, I didn't because it wasn't coming out of my pocket is really what was happening. And my job was for pay sites. My job was shooting compliant porn for them.
Yeah.
But when
you part of the bigger picture.
Sure. But when you're dealing with a company now that was monetizing abuse that they have acknowledged, then you get into a bigger level of scumbaggery that I wouldn't have been able to deal with. Like if that was coming out while I was with them, then I would have been like, I don't think I could work for you anymore. But instead, I'm dealing with a company that's just greedy and arrogant and treats everyone as replaceable, which completely legal.
And also true.
Yeah. No, but I mean, but that was reality. Now, when it came to the allegations that came out literally 2 months after our partnership severed, that's when I'm like, wow, I guess, you know, it was the time to exit. And
but yeah. Do you think that you were turning a blind eye to some of that shit that was happening while you were there?
I had no idea. I listen, hand to Torah, no idea any of that shit was going down.
Okay.
Like honestly. But when you read about it and then you start hearing more about it, it gets really bad.
Well, you do understand how you could come across like a disgruntled ex right now.
I understand that. I get it. But I mean, I'm telling you, like, if my departure was in October of 2020 and the New York Times article came out in December 2020, well, now it's a point where it's like you can say, like, I had no idea. All I had known about was this.
But you're an actual insider. You're not someone doing an investigative report about it.
I was a guy shooting for pay sites for them that was trained in compliance. So you're assuming that if they're knocking all the rules to you and getting them in your head and bringing you up to Montreal to learn about compliance, that they are taking compliance seriously. But they weren't on Pornhub because they didn't have to be. And until that expose came out, well, a lot of people were blind about it. Like all of that stuff was happening in the summer of COVID. That was all going on behind the scenes. And I think that's a big part of the reason why I was no longer with them, because I thought they saw a storm coming and me having my studio and the 8 employees that I had, it was just becoming too much for them. And they knew something was going down. What they like to do is say, oh, this is anti-porn crusaders. This is right-wing religious nuts and all that. And it's not, because I've actually talked to the lady behind it, but that is really
Layla
Mickleweight. Yeah, I've talked to her a few times and I was like, you know what? Before I buy her book and I really figure out what's going on, is this person like a Christian nut? And I didn't get that sense on the couple hours of conversations I had with her on the phone. I think her cause was just really trying to nail them because they were monetizing on people's abuse. And they were for a while. And they even acknowledged it and paid a fine. And now more discoveries coming out and it's not good. But when I was reading her book, yes.
Was that just negligence on their part, or was that actually malicious?
Well, we don't know yet. That's all happening in discovery right
now. But in your opinion?
I think it was greed. I think
of course it was greed.
Sure. Was it malicious? I think this company was flying and adapting on the seat of their pants and adjusting as they went. Instead of really, I just look at it like this. Look, if pay sites was under such strict orders for compliance, why wasn't Pornhub?
Money, obviously.
Because there weren't any rules about it. There wasn't a light being shown on it, really, essentially.
Well, it was also they're doing something first. The tube sites for porn.
Wild West.
Yeah, it's still the fucking Wild West. Yeah. Like there's 30 years of precedent of what a mainstream set looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's not that for the tube sites or content creators. I mean, hell, OF is still running into a foul of crazy shit all the time because they don't know what they don't know.
Right. And, they might be acquired by an American company, which is going to really change things up and shake things up. But going back to your question, do I think it was malicious? No. Do I think it was criminal negligence? Certainly. Do I think the owners should be, tried and gone after? Certainly. I do.
Which set of owners?
Well, okay. So this is what you have to really figure out. The discovery that's been happening right now is that the old owners are still pretty much tied to it. So it's a question of like when this whole acquisition came on and they became ALO again, ethical capital partners and all that was going down, there was a lot of questions about whether or not the previous owners were still tied to it. Now it's pretty much strongly suggested that they still are through discovery, through all of these class action lawsuits that are happening with them. So yeah, and here's the thing. If I have the situation where if I was still working for them at the time when it came out and I would have been like, I don't think I could do this. What about every single person that's still working for them? Are they ignorance? Is there ignorance is bliss mentality? Or do they simply not give a shit and they're just dealing with their bottom line?
I mean, I can speak for myself. When I worked for them in 21,
right?
I was just trying to fucking make a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Corvus, of all people, actually was like, hey, Marcos, you should bring Matt on because I needed fucking work.
Okay.
I need to fucking pay my bills. I gave it no thought beyond that of, I can do this job. I will do this job.
Were you aware of everything that was going down with them or being accused of?
You hear things in the rumor mill.
Right.
But it was still rumor and hearsay at this point.
Right.
People have various opinions and not all of them are factual.
Right.
I didn't know what I didn't know.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I knew I had to pay my fucking rent.
I get it. At that point, it was pretty nebulous. Now, not so much. So I look at people and I'm like, some of the people that are still flying that flag pretty strong, I'm like, dude, you're a disappointment. And I've shot them and I got to know them and I actually like them. And I'm like, but how can you continue to do it? And
because you got to put food on the table.
I understand, but at some point, where's the line in terms of how, what are you able to continually to look past, That's
an individual choice.
Exactly. And that's where, and I've had people scream like, oh, you're just a self-righteous prick, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, I'm just not supporting a company that I know is accused of these things and has acknowledged these things. That doesn't make me a self-righteous prick. It just means I'm not going to support or be a patron of them.
How much money have you actually ever spent on one of their sites?
Well, I mean, you could go on Hub. You're not going to spend anything.
Well, you're generating ad revenue at that point.
Well, I suppose if you're clicking on those ads and those ads.
Well, no, just by the banner ads existing. I mean,
sure. But yeah, after a while, I was like, nah, I'm not even going to bother. I mean,
what are you jerking off to then?
Just old stuff from the past.
Are you going back to your archives?
Archival footage, I guess you could say. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you illegally pirating old Brett?
No.
I'm not fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. This was my dailies.
Listen. There was a time for I'd say 6 years or 5 years when I wasn't with a partner and having sex. When I was with her, I wasn't jerking off to anything. I was having sex with my girlfriend.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to rub one out.
I'd rather just wait. I mean, honestly, I'd rather save it all for her. That was the God's honest truth. I felt like I was being a bad partner if I was jerking off and not having sex with my.
Oh, I'm not saying you don't have sex with her. I'm just saying clean the pipes so you can give a better performance.
I'd rather clean the pipes with her. It was just the way it was. It was that good. I was that smitten and in love.
Aw,
that's the truth.
Aw, the trick of brain chemistry.
Yeah, I know. Chose poorly again. Damn you, dude.
Oh no, it's the trick of the brain chems at that point. When you're in love, love chemicals are more addictive than cocaine.
Yeah. Well, we're back to the archives. That's really what it's happening now. But I won't go on tube sites at all just because I just don't want to support it. I mean, does that make me a self-righteous prick? I guess so.
Well, I mean, you're sticking to your guns.
Yeah. I mean,
a whole other thing. I don't want to support the people.
Yeah.
To the tube sites.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing it. But yeah, that's the whole deal. And that's why I'm like, well, I don't know. I have felt disappointment with a lot of people over the years, especially with being away from it. You know what I mean? I guess really because when you bring people in to your house and you're having intimate moments with them, and it just vaporizes because you're not with the company anymore. You realize how vapid and shallow this is. And I shouldn't be surprised at it at all. But you're just also kind of like, well, yeah, but we did exchange bodily fluids. Like
that means something.
I know.